Epiphany 8's here, sharing this lovely message with you of love. We're going to talk about the goddesses of love today, and specifically the goddesses of love and water. So obviously we are not going to touch on every single goddess, but that really isn't the point. We're going to talk about a couple in specifics here. So we're going to talk about the goddesses of love and water, but namely three. So Yemoja is a wonderful example of, and a wonderful connection to be made to a wise and loving and giving black goddess of the sea. One could say the original mermaid. Emoja is an ancient goddess of the Yoruba tradition, and she is venerated and worshipped through the diasporic African journey, from Pan-Africa all the way through to the West Indian, Caribbean islands, Haiti, all the way through the Americas. Basically, anywhere that you find diasporic African people and the Yoruba traditions, you'll find her. Emoja is the goddess of the Orishas that birthed the other Orishas. In fact, she is the reason why human beings exist according to that tradition. So in a way, she is a mother to not only the Orishas, but also to all human beings. So always giving love and honoring to her is important for us as human beings. And the sea gives so much life. Even the interpretations done by Western science also talk about the ocean birthing life, and the ocean birthing life that then crawled onto the land that then became human. So however you want to look at it, Yemoja is a representation of that goddess energy, of that love energy. She also is connected to the moon and women, childbirth, mothering. She is the protector of women. She governs everything pertaining to women: childbirth, conception, parenting, safety, love, and healing. This is the great mother. She was often and is often correlated with Mary, Mother Mary. And that is because we have this association deep within us to this goddess of love and this goddess of giving and of protecting. She also oversees deep secrets and is the keeper of ancient wisdom. One thing about Emoja is that she is someone to go to with your sorrows as well. She is protective of our hearts. She's protective as a mother is. So she is that giving, that loving, giving deity of that we can go to with our sorrows as well. And she also gives fortune and gives love. So honoring her within ourselves and honoring her in the seas and protecting our oceans and protecting the life within the oceans is also a way of honoring her. Another wonderful goddess of water, and this is not necessarily the sea, but she flows into the sea, is Oshun. And Oshun's colors are more yellow and gold, as you could see in Beyonce's wonderful Grammy performance, where she definitely embodies Oshun. But Oshun is also the waters, the sweet waters, and that is also a representation of the feminine, of course, as well. Another goddess not to be messed with, but giving and necessary for life. She's also the goddess of honey and of love. So as you can see, this theme of love and giving and sustenance of life is continual and part of the feminine. And this is embodied not just by female gendered people. This is embodied and needed in the wisdom of all things. Veneration of the feminine and supporting of the waters within us, the sweetness of life. Venus is also a goddess that was born of the sea. And Venus, the reason I bring Venus up is because as a planetary body, she is in correlation with the earth. And she does affect us through astrology. And when you find Venus within particular houses, you find different ways that she's affected us. So Venus as a story, in the particular Roman way of looking at her, she also was born of the sea. She's also a goddess of love, and she's also a goddess of granting wealth as well. Venus, when we look at the attributes of Venus and how it affects us, if you look at Taurus and Libra, Libra and Taurus are guided by Venus and accentuated by Pisces. So what does that mean? Okay. The giving nature of the earth, Taurus, the continual earth goddess that a female Taurus essentially becomes, is affected by Venus. The love of beauty and the love of connectivity between people and the love of beautifying aesthetics. These you can find in Libra and also in Taurus, but specifically in Libra, okay? And it is accentuated in Pisces as well, because Pisces is constantly in a dreaming world where they want to dissolve the walls of illusion that we find around ourselves and want to flow into and mix with others. It sounds like the breaking of a dam and a flowing of water, of dreams that are unbound by reality, right? That we have the beautification of all things in Libra, and then we have the giving and the nurturing and sustaining that you find in Taurus. So these are how Venus can be felt. And we can look at these different astrological signs and say, I probably share, if I look at my chart, I share this and this and that, but what about Venus can I accentuate in my life as a female, as a female identified being? These are also goddesses that are not to be messed with necessarily. They are patient, they are kind, they are over abundant in their ooey gooiness of love and life, but they are definitely not to be messed with, though they do come from the sea. And the beach can be a beautiful and wonderful place. It can be a tropical beach with a beautiful sunny day, the type of place that you, in the middle of your workday, fantasize about being in. Or they can also bring a hurricane upon that same beach. So these are things that are not weak, though they are smooth, though they are sensual, though they are giving, though they are feminine. There is nothing weak about femininity. And that is something that is a lie, and something that we're starting to wake up to and understand as well. This is an important time right now to be connecting to the mothers and the goddesses, our internal connections within ourselves that reach back to this mother tree, right? These roots, these branches that we are, they connect back to this trunk, and this trunk is a continual force of life-giving and love-giving. It's important to honor the divine feminine and to honor where life comes from, to honor the quiet and peaceful wisdoms. As women, we are carriers of these, whether we associate more with our masculine energies or we associate more with our feminine energies. We are complete beings that house these energies, and our wisdom is found in our humility to listening to that still and quiet voice. If it's not a still and quiet voice, it's a loud and distracting voice, and we see that in madness. So that's why we want to listen and drink deep of the waters within ourselves. A lot of the goddesses have to do with flowing and have to do with creation, obviously. These are the attributes that we find in goddess, right? And these attributes live within us. So remember that we have these energies within us. We have these energies of love and femininity. We have these energies of sustenance and protection. We have a continualness of the flowing of water within us. We have the feminine energies within us as well. And we have the ability to connect with the truth within ourselves in the spiritual and in the physical and make that meeting, which is us. I mean, as females, this is us. So whether we connect more with a masculine energy, whether we connect more with a feminine energy, whatever that expresses itself as and whatever we consider that to be, celebrate the feminine. We want the oceans to be healthy. We want for our rivers to be clean. We want for the bees to live. We want for our connection to each other and to ourselves to be full of love and the breaking down of walls and illusions, as in Venus. We want for ourselves and our children to be protected and to be continual in their love as well, right? We want this orgasmic gushing of sweets and life-giving waters, whether it's, like I said, Oshun or Yemoja, whether it's the Venus, Aphrodite, or many other many other female goddesses that are found throughout the world. These are only touching on a few, just touching on just some of them, just to remind us of what is needed for us to continue to flow in life. It's receptive. There's nothing that could ever stop it. No matter how much you try to hold water, it will find a way to break through the cracks and rush forward. We see this with dams. We find that there are dams even now all over the world. They're cracking and bursting forth. Water comes and shoots up from the ground in ways of geysers. Water flows down through waterfalls and through rains. I mean, the sea level is rising right now. Without water, we can't breathe even. I mean, you know that we are a high percentage of water, that we are 70, I think, to 85% water, that we live off of that. But even the air itself needs to go through a membrane of water in order for us to breathe it. And that's just anything with lungs, basically. Lungs provide that, and they are holding pockets of water. They are made mostly of water. That's why it's not really something that in an animal you really eat and get a lot of sustenance from, and that's because it's water. So we're breathing through water. Air itself is made in part of water, so we're breathing that in as well. We breathe through a membrane of water, and water is life. You know, water, clean and clear water, continues not only to keep us alive and keep everything that keeps us alive, but it also within it has life. It also fosters life. It's constantly giving. So some wonderful things that you can do. Actually go to water. If you live in the city, then a fountain will do. Take a jar of water, of tap water, and really tap on the glass itself. What I like to do is hold the jar of water like this on my hand, and then I take it and really tap it with my knuckle. And as I do this, or sometimes I'll take a crystal as well, but as I do this, I reverberate through the water a clear message from my heart of thanks, of gratitude, and of really wanting the best for this water, for everything that's in this water, everything that it's been through. It's been through a processing, like everything, like our air, like our food, like ourselves. It's been processed. So I really like to knock on that and really put the vibration of love through this water again. Water is a conductor, and it's a conductor of energy. And so just like you don't want to touch something electrical that's plugged into the wall and water, right? You want to keep those things separate. Why? Because it's a conductor of energy. So it really can feel the energy within you. And I whisper to that, and I give thanks to the goddesses, and I specifically the goddesses of, that of love and of water. And I pour this into the fountain or into the rivers. You can do this yourself. I put my feet on the ground. I take a deep breath of love and thankfulness and gratitude. Pushing my roots down deep into the ground. Putting my arms up high to the sky. I bring in the light and the love, and I become a conductor through all the way to the ground. And I thank that I am sustained, and that all that I know and have known on this earth at one point was sustained by water. I'm grateful for this, and I bring this in, and I release and let go. And it's just a really simple, easy way to do. Now, if you're not able to get to water, then just taking that jar of water and tapping it and allowing it to be a libation to yourself can also work very well too. Really, the most important thing is just to keep in mind the divine feminine in the flowing of water, and to do what we can in every way possible to continue to keep our waters clean and to let that cleanse us as well. Water is such a wonderful, complex, and life-giving substance. That in itself is a good reminder to us of these giving entities and these giving deities in just a simple glass of water, taking that as libation to our bodies and nourishing our bodies, taking that simple element of taking that simple element and letting that cleanse us and clear us. Just remembering that even as we do drink water. If you found yourself on this page and found yourself here, then this message is for you. This message of love and of giving and of continual femininity. I'm just repeating myself. I'm just saying the same things. We've been talking about the feminine. Why can't I talk? Oh, I wish I had my words together better. So frustrating. It's okay. You are light, you are love, whether or not this is present at the forefront of your frontal cortex or not, it's true. You are part of the whole, and you are constantly being hugged tight by the earth as she spins around, giving us and cleansing us and loving us. You are part of that. And for that, I want to thank you. Peace, love, and blessings. Peace, love, and blessings.